Welcome to our review of RuPaul's Drag Race Episode 6, Season 10. Hey! Here we are, Episode 6. We've waved goodbye to Mayhem Miller, which was a bit of a shock to be fair, because she was kind of a front runner coming into the competition. But I think the level of ability this season is really high. Not too much shade this time, just a little bit of light banter between Monique and Monet, the Mons. As Monique says to Monet, next time you'll have a garment that fits. It'll be the right cut. Okay! So we come back into the workroom the next day, and our mini challenge today is sitting on a secret. I think this is my favourite theme tune so far. They have to be able to recognise what the object is just through the power of their butt cheeks. This would be one for all you power bottoms out there. I'm not sure it's very fair getting Miss Cracker, who is Jewish, to sit on a pork chop. That's not culturally sensitive, is it? The winner, of course, is Asia O'Hara, so we found out that she has the power of the booty. Once we've had the mini challenge, we move on to the main challenge, which this week is RuPaul's Drag Con. They split into 3 different teams, and RuPaul allows them to make their own choice as to who they go with. In the spirit of DragCon, you know, everybody can be who they are and do what they want. So we get Monet, Cameron, and Eureka all go together in the body team. All 3 of them have their own kind of issues. Eureka talks a lot, Cameron doesn't talk enough, and Monet has been in the bottom consistently. Then we have Miss Cracker, Blair, and the Vixen in the hair team. Make of that what you will. I understand Miss Cracker. I understand Blair. I'm not sure I understand Vixen wanting to do hair. Then we have Aquaria, Asia, and Monique for face. So they've all split up. They're all going into their own little groups, talking about how to run things. And this is the point where everybody didn't want to work with Eureka or Monet or Cameron. But Eureka had already been at DragCon. She's been there, she's seen how it works. She's been in panels before. She knows that you need a moderator. She knows how it works. She knows how to structure it. And you can see how Eureka's experience of already being in panels comes through. She understands how it works. She knows how to get it so that it makes sense to an audience. Then we have Aquaria and Asia and Monique in the face team. I'm struggling a little bit with Aquaria because physically, as a physical performer on stage, she's brilliant. She's really, really good. But she just doesn't have the vocabulary that you need in order to express yourself coherently. Asia clocks that right from the get-go, that actually Aquaria is the Achilles heel. Then we go over to Blair and Miss Cracker and the Vixen. We find out that Blair has lots of skills when it comes to hair, that she actually works in a costume department, and she primarily works with wigs most of the time. That's her kind of full-time duties. Miss Cracker's wigs are always perfect, and of course we've seen the square hat, and then this week we get to see another hair hat from her. I'm very keen on a hair hat myself. Whereas Vixen, I'll let you go through rather than me putting on pictures of, you know, her past looks. But I just don't get the impression that she spends a lot of time doing anything with wigs. She's a shake and go queen. That's what her wigs look like to me. When RuPaul comes in, he gets a little bit of information about everybody, and with each group, he's really clear. This has to be funny. Like, it's drag, it's not serious. Yes, we want some information. Yes, they want some hints, they want some tips. It's as much about personality as it is about actually delivering some information. For this challenge, everybody's being judged by the audience as well as the judging panel this week. I mean, it's like being back on All Together now, isn't it? Everybody just needs a little red button, and if they like you, they stand up. The first group out of the main stage are the body group, which is Cameron, Monet, and Eureka. The best thing about this is that they've really understood how to structure this. So each person gets their little slot, they get introduced. What is your history? What do you know about this? And then they have their own little slot and they have cue lines so that there's no, now it's your go. You know, it's really clear and it feels natural. Then they do their demonstration. They have the ginger pit crew there and they're making it funny. You know, Monet's telling Eureka to focus and Eureka's like, I am focusing on the D. Next up we have our face queen, Beat That Mug. Monique comes out and she does it very much like a kind of a show, like a drag show. She really got to show her skills as a compere. She was really funny, very quick, and understood how to direct the flow of traffic. Asia was also very funny while also giving information about herself. Aquaria, again, she just really struggles. She sounds bored. There isn't enough change in the intonation in her voice for me to sort of feel like she's interested in what she's saying. Then we move on to the demo. We've got our same guy back who's got his lovely dress and his shape on. And the problem with this was that it was a little bit confused. Like, we got Monique's, it was really clear what she was doing, and then Asia started hers with the eyelash. The problem with that was that then Aquaria started doing hers at the same time. So we had this kind of weird, and it was just a little bit much for an audience to follow. I really like the way that Asia does her eyelashes. That's kind of similar to how I do mine, and I can completely attest to the use of a hairdryer on them because it just helps to push them up and out of the eye, so then it lifts the eye open. When it came to Aquaria's little tip about using the eyelash glue on your lips for putting a glitter lip on, now I don't know if you've noticed, but glitter lips are a little bit my thing. I've tried with the glue. What happens is the glue through the night splits and cracks and then lifts away from the lip, so you end up looking like you've got cold sores or you've got some kind of allergic reaction to your lipstick or makeup. All you really need is your lipstick. A cheap lipstick is almost always better because there's more fat in there. It doesn't need to have a really dense pigment to it because you're covering it with glitter. Instead of a brush, if you're doing a full lip, just use your finger because you get a lot better control over where it's going with your finger. If you're doing like a line, then actually a better thing to use is one of those little makeup pads, you know, a little makeup pad on the stick. You just dab it in and then you can be really clear with the line. The problem with a brush is that quite often it doesn't hold the glitter in the bristles enough, so then you end up with lots of fallout. That's my 2 pence for a glitter lip. Now we move on to hair, and let's be honest, this was a full-on train wreck. It was horrendous. It didn't help that Cracker's wig looked perfect. Blair's wig was a nice shape, but had quite a lot of flyaways on it. And then we have Vixen, who literally looks like she's taken that curly wig out of the bag, given it a shake, and shoved it on her head. Moving on to the demonstration, because there isn't a moderator, there's nobody leading the show, it was really confused and kind of chaotic. The guy, when they finally got this thing on his head, just looked horrendous. It looked absolutely awful. Now we're on to our runway, which is Hat's amazing. So I've worn my Philip Tracy hat today. It's very rare that I get to wear this because it doesn't stay on your head very well. There are some hooks in the back, but if ever a chin strap were required, this is the moment. As well, this hat was owned by Martine McCutcheon. This is my moment, my perfect moment with you. There were some great looks, I thought, this week. Some which were okay, and others which were amazing. So my top 3 of the week were Asia O'Hara with her dandelion look. It was beautiful. You can buy them in IKEA. But it just looked amazing, didn't it? And then when she opened up her hand and blew out the dandelions, gorgeous. The second person who I thought was just phenomenal was Aquaria. Really cute, clever, funny little idea of being the rabbit coming out of the hat. I thought that was a great idea, and the makeup was sensational. The other person whose look was really great this week was Cameron Michaels. Yes, it was a swimsuit. Yes, she'd already worn a swimsuit. Yes, she wears quite a whole lot of swimsuits. But the hat was extraordinary, and then the way that her swimsuit was tied in with that was really good. I didn't really get what Bossy Rossi was talking about when he said, like, it was nice to see her personality and now I want to see more looks from her. I think he was saying that's what excites him about her, that she has these incredible looks each week that she just keeps pulling out. I thought that the worst on the runway this week were Blair's. Wasn't very good. It just looked a little bit home ec. Like at school when you have to make an Easter bonnet. It looked like that was her entry. Here's the controversial. I didn't really like Eureka's either. It looked a bit kind of foamy. I don't know. It looked a bit weird, did her hat. I liked the dog tooth. I thought that was great. The other persons who I didn't like very much was the Vixens. It's really close, but it's just there's so many bits wrong with it. Like on the hat that's on her side, you can see, she hasn't taken the time to smooth that out with a pair of scissors and then just glue it together on the back. It was a great idea, just the execution wasn't quite there. And again, that wig, what? It was so shiny, it literally looked like she just got it out of the bag. The winner overall, of course, was Eureka O'Hara. Well done, Eureka. Props to you, even though I didn't like your hat very much. In the panel, Eureka's makeup looked insane. She looked so good in it. In the bottom this week were Nizcracker, Vixen, and Blair. Let's just take a moment and look at those shoes. Blair and Vixen have to lip sync for their life this week. So Vixen wiped the floor with Blair. And the way that Blair was delivering it, quite earnestly, there wasn't much comedy, there wasn't much fun in it. She didn't quite know the words either. If you're gonna deliver a song that way, it means that you have to really know everything. And that's why Blair gets sent home this week, which is savage, especially when you think about the revelation that she'd made earlier on, that her first sexual encounter was an abusive one, which is awful. And then for somebody to open up like that on stage, and then for you to send them home, like, this competition is savage. Now it's time for our UK and Ireland reviews from our UK and Ireland drag queens and kings. Here they are.
Hi everyone, hi Divina. Okay, I found a nice quiet spot in the beer garden. We're just about to go on stage, but I wanted to give you my views on episode 6, RuPaul's Drag Race, season 10. I found a lovely little throne. I don't know what it's doing here or whose it is, but I'm going to perch here for the mini challenge. This proves to me that they're starting to run slowly out of ideas for the mini challenge. This doesn't demonstrate any aspect of the talent needed for drag. It's a filler, and a pointless one at that. I can't even remember who won. The main challenge of the episode was the drag con panels. My absolute favourite was the absolute favourite that was crowned the absolute favourite in the episode. Eureka absolutely blew it out the water. The wig one fell totally flat for me. Unfortunately, I don't have a Rue style editor to give me a little blurred strip across the hairline there. Wouldn't we all just kill for that? In response to a question about what would you tell a new baby queen when they bought a new wig and they were just getting the first wig? Well, you should do at least 2 things to it once you take it out of the bag. Wigs should not be coming out of bags. Unless you're seriously restyling them and creating something by a professional wig maker or a wig dresser. And if that's not your expertise, don't even try, because you're going to end up like a back-scuttled Tina Turner. Not a good look. Quote of the episode, and I think it was from Monique. Girl, she says, I came here with glitter and Jesus. Cameron Michaels hit a note with me and probably with a lot of drag queens when she said that she had to stop doing drag to date. It's a problem with all face, I reckon. It does put a lot of people off, or equally annoying, it puts a lot of people on. The lips and the lashes conversation between Aquaria and Asia, or maybe it was Miss Cracker and Asia, I really don't know. I saw the judges getting really narked that there was talking over each other. If you listen, they actually weren't. I think it was really well timed how it flipped back to Asia showing people how to put lashes on with a blow dryer. Okay, never heard that before, but okay. And then back to Aquaria, who was showing people how to glitter lip. I think they really worked that well, although I could see that the judges didn't like it. So rethink that, Michelle. Ha ha ha! Visage. Okay, and finally, let me just chuck in there. I would have always wanted to see Blair in long dresses, because those tiny, weaselly, scrawny legs with those like size 10 shoes on the end, she looked like a nine iron. My favourite really now is starting to be Monet. The funny comedy queens, if you can do it really well, always win. Team Monet Exchange. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon. Keep watching RuPaul's Drag Race and check out Divina's YouTube channel for the reviews on episode 7. Love you all. Bye.
So this week's episode of Drag Race has to be my favourite. So the body team, surprisingly, were the best. Like they had a little tagline. They all took turns to actually give useful information. They had like a comedic factor to what they were saying. Like they're very fun, easy, good to watch. Oh my god, the hair group. Like, where's the information? They gave absolutely no tips, and it really disappointed me because I've actually watched Ms. Cracker's hair tutorials on YouTube, like wig tutorials, and I always thought they were really insightful and gave me a lot of tips, you know, how to like detangle wigs and how to style them and everything. So they just kept, you know, throwing shade, but it wasn't even funny. Like, I thought it was absolutely awful. For the runway, it was about hats, which is kind of fun. I like Cameron's like kind of futuristic little thing he had going on. Yeah, I like Miss Cracker's use of her brand of hair like into the hat. Like, I think that was quite cool. I like Vixen's hat look. Like, the idea of it was cool, like the use of hats for the entire outfit, but execution could have been fine-tuned. Like, it looked a little bit messy, like around the corners. But very sadly, Blair St. Clair unfortunately got eliminated. I think it was way too early for her, but you know, you need to be on your game like every single week, otherwise it could happen to you.
Cameron, Spacey, that headpiece was stunning. Monet, I was so happy to finally get my YG Black fantasy on Drag Race. I think we've had it before, but I just can't get enough. We just needed a tambourine. Next was Eureka. Everyone seems to love Eureka's look, but I didn't like it. The patterns were really problematic for me. I think I get a bit stressed out when there's a lot going on. And then there was Aquaria, of course. It was an amazing look. Monique, I was amazed that she pulled that together so quickly. I couldn't see her face though, and I kind of had a problem with that. Otherwise, it's stunning. Asia, I was initially really gagged by this. I was like, oh my god, it's a dandelion bitch. Excellent. And then some bitch pointed out, that's an IKEA, like, lampshade. That is amazing. Can she get the crown just for wearing an IKEA lampshade? I think she can. And then Cracker was gorgeous, creative, wig hat. It was lovely. She made it herself as well, which is always a gag. Blair was, I just think Blair's so flawless. She's so cute and beautiful. Not that I can say much about fashion, but I do think her outfit would have looked a bit better with maybe a gown that hit the floor, or a bit of a train or something. I don't know. The lengths didn't really speak to me with such a big hat. Otherwise, I loved it. And the Vixen, I loved her look. Totally loved it. I disagreed with Michelle on her face. I think you could see enough of her face. Otherwise, it was like a beach hat look. It kind of made sense. The lip sync was I'm Coming Out, which is of course such a classic song. I love the lip sync, but unfortunately, to my own dismay, my eyes were constantly drawn to the vixen, and I think, Blair going home was quite fair. Anyway, that's my quick review. I tried to keep that as short as I could. I'll see you soon, and I can't wait for episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hiya Divina darling, hope you're alright sweetheart. Here's my little review of episode, I think it's 6 now, isn't it? We've had 6 episodes of RuPaul. I'll try and keep it nice and sweet and short for you, just like me. I think it was a really good episode. I think it was probably one of my favourite episodes actually. I think it was interesting to hear a lot more stories about some of the queens. I mean, I know obviously they do tend to share a lot of stories, and I think what is very apparent is that they've all had very hard lives in lots of different ways. Obviously standout was Blur. I think the story that she shared is a very powerful story. It's one which I think, especially for male rape, is something which isn't very widely discussed in either the gay or straight community, so I think for her to do that was very brave. I think it was just a very generally strong episode. I think it obviously started off very funny with the whole sitting on shit thing, and then we got to the DragCon panel part. I appreciate that Team Hair was probably the weakest one out of them groups that did the DragCon challenge. I think it's just because they had no chemistry, really, and that's quite sad, because some of them are my favourites. Miss Cracker, Vixen, and Blur. They are some of my favourite queens. I don't know who my favourite queen is at the moment. I've got favourites. Vixen is actually one of them, believe it or not. I think she's fabulous. I just love that she's unapologetically loud and shameless. Monique Hart is becoming someone who I just adore as well. Monet is... I've got to talk about the hats. The hats. Fuck me, the hats were amazing. But Asia O'Hara's hat, that fucking dandelion shit on her head. Christ almighty, that was a fucking chandelier walking out. I don't think the judges could even give a proper pun about it. It was just fabulous. She looked absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best fucking fascinators I've ever bloody seen. It fascinated me. Do I think that Blur was the right one to go? No. But not because I think Vixen should have gone. I just don't think she should have been in the bottom 2. For me, it probably would have been Cameron Michaels. I would have probably had her in the bottom 2. I just think... I don't know. Apparently she's got a lot more presence on Instagram, and she says a lot more on social media. I don't personally follow her on there. I'm only going off what I see on the episode, and she's boring. I think it was sad to see Blur go, but I think it was a very strong episode, a very good episode, and I'm excited to see what they bring. God, getting a bit of tit out there for you, darling. Hopefully I'll get another review in for you soon, but have a fabulous time. I'm off to Void.
And if you would like to send me a review, I would be most grateful. Yes, I would. So send it to divinadecampo@hotmail.co.uk. It's down there. Look at this technology, amazing. Putting my name on and everything. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week with episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Please make sure that you tune in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.